Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome if you're new here. Today I'm excited to share some spring and Easter Dollar Tree DIY room decor and home decor projects that are just super easy, fun, cute to make. I hope you enjoy. Let me know, what are you going to be decorating for next? Will you be decorating for St. Patrick's Day? Are you jumping straight into Easter, or do you just generally go with more spring decor? What is on your home decor bucket list next to do this year? And this is how Kenzie gives hugs. Kenzie, you're giving a hug? Kenzie's giving a hug. And by the way, I'm holding the dogs because if I don't, they will jump all over me and bark at me when I try to talk and record an introduction here. So they're much better if I just pick them up and hold them while I talk. All right, let's go ahead and get started. For the first one, I found this cute little Easter bunny stop here sign in the Dollar Tree. It has this little bunny banner, and basically I took 3 signs and I'm going to combine all of those bunnies on a different twine, a longer piece, and make a larger banner. So you could paint the bunnies, you could paint their tails, and of course I am saving the wood sign to use for a future project. And then just alternate these on a large piece of twine and hang them up under my shelves. I love how this looks. It's just really cute and easy, just a fun, neutral spring DIY. For the next one, I have this little snail windmill, I guess, that I found in Dollar Tree. And I actually took off the windmill part, and I thought it would be perfect to kind of create more of the real celebration of Easter with an empty tomb. So I painted this over with some gray chalk paint, and I did brush a little bit of a darker brown on there just to kind of make it look like a rock. And then I found these other little I don't know, they're almost like a little coaster. I guess they would be kind of small for a coaster, but anyway, they came as a set of 3 in a pack at Dollar Tree, and so I decided to paint over one of them and make that the stone that was rolled away on the empty tomb, and paint this kind of the reverse of the tomb part. So I painted this one with a dark brown and then brushed in little bits of the gray into the brown just to kind of give it some dimension. And I used some puffy paint in order to kind of add some flowers up by the top and on the corner, and also to write on "He is risen." In order to make it stand up, I glued a little wooden Jenga block on the back, and that enabled this to stand up. And then I wanted to make a cross to put on the top, and basically you can just cut a little piece of wood from a popsicle stick into 2 pieces and glue them together to make a cross, and then add some wood stain or paint it if you want. I used a little bit of antique wax, and then I glued it up at the top of the empty tomb, and here is how the whole thing came together. Now moving on, we're going to do somewhat of a church DIY, and I was inspired by a set of Easter decor pieces for a tiered tray that I found for sale online in Walmart. I thought it was super cute, but I decided to see what I could kind of just make on my own using some items from Dollar Tree, and I actually already had a bunch of these. So I had the taller house and the wider, thicker house, and I painted both of these little house signs over with some chalk paint. I also took 2 Fs and I kind of cut them, one facing one way and one kind of the other, and cut off kind of the top and bottom part and just used the middle portion of each facing opposite ways, and I basically glued them together and made a little cross. I hopefully you can kind of just see what I'm doing, but basically I think it would probably be easier if you just cut like a popsicle stick into 2 pieces and, you know, flipped one over sideways and just made your own kind of little cross out of that to put at the top of the church. And if you've got some gold paint, that's what I decided to use for the cross and for the roof of this church, as well as the doorway. Since I had the extra gather signs, I took another one and I added that up on the top here because I felt like it was a large space. You could definitely write in any kind of like Easter scripture verse. I think that would be really beautiful. Here is how it looks on these new shelves that we hung on our wall from the kitchen. I love how it turned out. So moving on for the next one, I had this idea. I saw this sign in Dollar Tree, and then in Target I actually found some of these paper flowers, a whole box of them. I thought it was so cute. I will put a link for them down below. I just used a few of them to do this DIY. Also, they are paper flowers and they just look really unique. And I just decided to write Happy Spring on here. If you have some rub-on transfer stickers, I think that would be a great idea too. Dollar Tree has like gold letters and stuff like that. That would be really pretty to write something on here using the gold rub-on transfers. I thought I had a pack, but I could not find them, so maybe I've misplaced them or used them up. I don't know. So I just went again with the puffy paint, and it felt like something was missing. So I simply added a couple of these little wooden butterflies on here. Super cute and easy, and you could hang this on a wall or again add it into a bookshelf. For the next one, I found this nice little arched shape photo display piece. It has a little clip that you could hang up your picture and display it, and I thought this was really cute, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it exactly, but what I ended up deciding to do now for the spring, because I've had this one for a few months and just kind of been sitting on it, but I decided to paint it over, and I would recommend just painting it in something like a chalk paint. I did start with spray paint and I just wasn't that happy with how it was coming out, so I ended up quickly brushing over it with some chalk paint anyway. Before you paint this, you can simply take a tiny screwdriver and remove that little clip that's in the middle. Take that out, and that I would spray paint if you don't want it to be silver, so I wanted metallic gold. I just gave it a couple little quick sprays, and then I also brushed on a little bit of more of like a tan caramel color, just a little bit here and there to kind of dry brush and kind of just distress it on there a little bit. I wanted to actually add some green leaf vining, which I thought I had a whole roll of it. I think I have it linked to my Amazon storefront. However, since we moved, I thought I brought it with me, but I could not find it. So I started thinking about what I could use instead. And instead, what I did was actually use these little green pearl stickers, and I wrapped those around the front and the sides and basically use stickers to kind of give it like a green vine effect. I also added in this other vine from Dollar Tree that has the little white berries on it. Last thing to do was print off some photos, and I am actually having a hard time deciding what picture to put on here. My sister was here recently and we went to the zoo and got some cool pictures of the giraffes and a really unique bird. I don't know what this one is. Let me know if you know the name of this bird. So I've been trying to go like back and forth and see what pictures I should use on here and what I can kind of decorate with for spring. Now for this next DIY, I have one of these wooden block pieces. So to be honest, this one came from a set of wooden Jenga pieces that I got a couple years ago that Five Below was selling. However, then I just have a few of them left, so I'm gonna use one for this. But definitely check Dollar Tree. They have so many little like wood pieces and options for wood craft supplies, but I just wanted to use up something I already had, so I brushed on some antique wax on here, and then I had these 3 little pots. So they come 3 in a pack, and they're just like adorable little garden planter pots, and they're super cute. So I decided to paint those over with this kind of cream colored chalk paint, and then while that's drying, I'm also going to take these little heart picks. So these are left from Valentine's Day, but we are going to paint all of the red hearts green and then do all of the wooden toothpick stems in green paint as well. So I just had this nice soft light green chalk paint. I'm going to use that and then leave the pink and the gold hearts as is. So once this was all dry, I added a pink, gold, and green heart into each pot, just gluing the stem in with a little bit of hot glue, and they look like adorable little heart flowers. And I feel like this could actually work for Valentine's Day decor if you wanted it to, especially especially if you left that heart red. I think it makes the sweetest, adorable little spring piece of decor, and I think it's small enough that you could definitely add it into a tiered tray as well as like on a shelf or wherever you want to style this for your spring decor or your Easter decor this year. For this next one, I got a little bit creative. You'll have to let me know if you like it or not. I brushed one of these glass vases from Dollar Tree, a couple of coats of some creamy colored chalk paint. Check out the Dollar Tree Easter decor and spring decor and craft supplies. They have so many choices, but this is left over I think from Michael's from Christmas, so I'm going to use it in my spring and Easter decor now, and I just cut a piece of it to glue around the bottom part of this little jug. It's funny because it reminds me a little bit of some kind of like milk jug or milk vase, and I think that was actually the name of the chalk paint, was milk jug if I remember correctly. But a little bit of hot glue to keep that on, and then I got a pack of these little wooden bunnies from Dollar Tree, and I was going to add one, so I decided to go all the way around gluing those bunnies on, which would then cover up the majority of the sparkly ribbon, and you would only get just, you know, little bits of the sparkle kind of peeking through in between the bunnies. Fresh florals. If you're gonna do fresh florals with water, I would highly recommend just spray painting the glass and not using chalk paint, because the water will kind of wear away at the chalk paint and begin to dissolve it a little bit. But I'm adding dry florals, and I think this looks really nice and just a cute piece, a cute accent for my Easter decor this year. Now for the next one, I found these little flower coasters in Dollar Tree, and I got the idea to make kind of like a wall art sign. I don't know if I'll hang mine on the wall or stand it up in the bookshelf, but basically I got a mat, a frame, an 8x10 frame from Dollar Tree that already has some white matting in it, and I spray painted the frame with a kind of caramel color, a shade of tan. And then for the flowers, I did 2 in a dark green spray paint and then 2 with the metallic gold. Let those dry, and then we're going to make a backing for this. So you can use any piece of paper. I would definitely recommend checking like the scrapbooking papers in a craft store like Michael's, but whatever you would like to use, you can also just find things in Dollar Tree to put as your background in here. If you want a certain material or texture, you could even use one of their placemats. They sometimes have vinyl like textured placemats, or even their contact paper. I really like how it looks right now, but I'm thinking that when I go to add my flowers on here, I think I want it to have a little bit lighter background for a little bit more contrast. So whatever you want to be the background for this, you can cut to fit inside the frame and then just attach your green and gold flowers on here. And here is how this one turned out. I think the green and gold is a nice accent with kind of the colors that I have in my home right now for my decor for spring 2023. But anyway, moving on, I'm also using the spray paint for this next DIY. I found these kind of like twine like wrapped Easter egg. The cream one, I actually just left that shade that came in the pack, and I sprayed the other 2 in order to get my green and gold combination. And then you can add these into any kind of bowl or plate in the middle of your dining table, your coffee table, maybe even in an entryway. I think it looks really cute. And of course you can obviously just decorate with these as is if you're going for the traditional pastel Easter colors, but for me, I wanted to make the coloring in my home a little bit more cohesive, so I decided to incorporate the colors that I'm using around the house right now into my Easter decor, if that makes sense. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know which one of these ideas was your favorite one, and when will you be decorating for Easter? Will you be decorating for Easter or spring decor this year? I always get so excited for the warmer weather and for all of the flowers to start coming out in the spring, so I cannot wait. Super excited for spring. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed day. I will see you guys all soon in a new video.